reaction? What do you think? I mean, this is literally just happened like as we're eating.
Forlorn and melancholy. I am stricken by, I've been stricken by a deep longing sense of ennui.
That's good. If they called you, would you take the fight?
If they page me 911, they send me the number, I will absolutely take the fight. If they want a heavyweight championship main event, I'm your man. I'll go in. I'll take care of business, and I'll give them what they want. I'll give them what they need, which is a healthy, motivated championship fighter. That's what they'll get.
What does go through your head? I mean, you haven't had a chance to talk to anybody.
So many things that I do not want to actually say in public.
Well, in this particular situation, what goes through your head? Because I wonder, I mean, is it when you hear what's going on, is it immediate like, how do I work this to my advantage? How do I insert myself in this situation? Or do you have to say, I've got to fight, I can't think about this stuff right now? How does your mind work when you start hearing that champions are falling out and challengers are falling out?
It's just like when you see a hot chick break off from some other dude trying to talk to her and roll up to the bar solo. Opportunity, man. Opportunity. To get shot down again. But in this case, it's fighting, so I won't fail. Of course, I have a manager handling this right now. I know what I can do. I know I have a fight ahead of me, which makes it so much easier to say, put me in. I'll go. You want a heavyweight championship? I mean, not to do anything to take away from Ben or to put him in the chicken coop, so to speak. I'm ready. I'm willing. I'm capable. I'll fight Stipe. I'll go 5 rounds for a heavyweight title right now. We're good. The fact that Werdum got injured, I mean, maybe he is injured, but it almost seemed as if he was injured enough, but not so injured that he was going to fight Kane. Now everything's swapped up. Maybe he's injured enough that it's not worth it, and it's better to wait. It's plausible. I'm not saying that's the case exactly. I don't really know. I wasn't there.
It's a natural reaction, right?
There is a lot of moving of pieces sometimes when it comes to fighting, to prize fighting. And we've seen it happen in boxing many a time. Stop one fight, move on to and disregard that, pull out of that fight, go to a different fight because it's a better paycheck or a better opportunity, or maybe promoter switches. I mean, there's all kinds of things that happen behind the scenes that can affect these. But right now, for whatever reason, Werdum's hurt, Kane's hurt, Stipe stepped up. Now Stipe doesn't have a partner to dance with. I'll dance with him, and then we'll fight. Then maybe I'll dance with him again afterwards. A nice slow one, We're all beat up and bruised and battered, and we're a little vulnerable. That's a time to go cheek to cheek on the dance floor. Yeah, right?
Mentally, how difficult is it to deal with a new opponent when it's a last minute replacement?
Right now, not at all. I'm mean, I'm ready, and I'm ready to go.
Doesn't matter?
No, I just want to fight somebody. And he's not a huge departure from Rothwell, so.
And you had the championship belt. Does that attitude change once you have the belt, or fear of losing the belt, or does it matter?
You always have to be somewhat aware of the ramifications of which fight you take and when and how and who, and the timing of all that. But you got to get the belt first before you got to worry about those things. So I really couldn't care less about that. What I could care about is winning that belt again and having that fight going into that Super Bowl weekend.
Are you surprised by the timing of this announcement?
It is very surprising. The timing is almost too perfect, but life is strange and chaotic. This could all be entirely on the level. It could also be a complete ploy. Only time will tell, only the history books, and depending on who writes them, will let you know what the reality of it is. And injuries are a real thing in the sport, and if you are truly injured enough that you cannot compete, you know, that's a bummer because now, I mean, the only thing that really bums me out are injuries, because I like being an athlete and I like going out there and I like competing and I like training and I like doing athletic things. Not being able to move sucks. That's a real bad trip.
None of us really know exactly what's going on, but let's say Fabricio didn't want to fight Stipe,
Yes.
and he's pulling out because of that. Is that understandable in a sense, because you're preparing your whole camp for one guy, and in this case you're prepared for camp for one guy who knows Kane very well, all of a sudden 12 days out, a new opponent. Is that understandable that I can say, hey, help me on this?
You could argue it, but in the end, I guess, I don't know. It depends on which party you're asking.
I'm asking you.
Oh, well, for me, it's totally, absolutely A-okay. Thank you. As long as I get the fight, then I completely abide by it. I think it was a great choice. And I'm sorry you're injured. Glad it's right now, though.
So are you starting to think about Stipe already now, possibly?
You know, a little bit. Just because his name came into the conversation earlier. I heard he's a big beer drinker. He's from Cleveland. Can't be that bad of a guy. Trains a strong style fight team. Those guys are cool. I like them. And he's got a great accent.
He's a fireman.
It's just great. It's like, gotta give a big cigar to that guy, maybe a keg of beer on the other shoulder. He's like the Crusher, who nobody here will remember who the Crusher is. Yeah, he was a wrestler for Vern Gagne's AWA. He had a song after him that has like blurbs, little clips of him within the song, quipping, saying his stuff. I could jump off my bar stool and take these guys out and all kinds of stuff. So look up the Crusher and then make me some Crusher Stipe memes. Because I'm sure Stipe would agree, you're not really anybody unless you have silly memes about you.
To jump in there, would it need to be like an interim title or anything like that, or does that matter? If this was just like a #1 contender fight,
Interim title. I mean, it's set up for a title match. Let's keep it going. That's what they need on Super Bowl weekend. They need a title fight. They need a heavyweight title fight. That's what we can provide. Former champ, and you know, a #1 contender. That's what people want to see. They want to see championship level fights. They want to see the top guys go at it. We can do it.
They took a change, man. I guess things always change in the sport, huh?
Well, you know, everything happens for a reason.
So if you just think about that title shot, you'll get it.
Right. What's it? Pablo Neruda? Is that another one?
So, Josh, how important is vengeance in your life? Does the Travis Brown fight bother you? Would you like to get that one back?
You can't get anything back in life. Trying to get anything back just allows you to allow things that are in front of you to get by and miss out. So you can't get shit back in your life. You got to deal with where you're at and what got you here. I don't like that I lost to him. I don't like the way I performed, and that's it. I keep that in mind and make sure that I don't allow those things to happen again. Simple.
How about when Crow Cop retired, though? Was there any party that was like, oh, let's do that one more time?
I would do one more time with anybody, bar none. Even people I've beaten before. Plenty of those I'd fight again.
Anybody you particularly want to beat up again?
Nah, I mean, I always wanted that third one with Nogueira, but there's no potential for that, and there's actually no point anymore. So.
Yeah. I'm curious for you. Does it help you if you have any kind of personal dislike of your opponent? Some people like to have that emotion of genuine dislike. Do you invent anything in your head for a reason? This guy's trying to take something from me. Like, what's your mentality when you're staring down the opponent?
Depends with every time. I don't think motivation is motivation. So if something motivates you, it's always a plus. I don't really need motivation. I'm motivated every day to beat the shit out of somebody. So it's just icing on the cake.
Is the Fedor fight still one that you're interested in?
I'm interested in all fights. Do you have a fight that's going to pay me a lot of money that's going to be seen and heard and followed by a lot of people? I want that fight. Actually, if you had a fight that's going to pay me a ton of money that no one's going to watch it, I want that one too.
But that name doesn't really mean anything more than anyone else to you.
No. I mean, even if it did, what am I going to do? Can't do shit about it. He's in Ryzen. I'm in the UFC. There is no cross-pollination. So it would be pointless to waste any energy thinking about it.
When he was a free agent in the UFC, thought about signing him, or there were some negotiations. Was there a hope that maybe he can come in?
Actually, I bet Juliana Pena $20 that he would not end up in the UFC. She still owes me $20. However, I'll let her put that towards bail. Bing! Gotcha, Juliana. I still want my $20.
Hey, how much has coaching helped you? I don't know if it helps you stay interested. I know you're always interested in the sport, but what does it do for you when you can show people what you have? How much does that invigorate your life?
Well, it makes me a better fighter. It makes me more knowledgeable. Gives me more mastery of the sport. Keeps my brain moving. Keeps me operating in other avenues. But also, it's me giving back to others, and it's me putting faith and energy into helping other people live out their dreams, which is something that I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have people to help me. So I consider it passing it along. Not to steal anything from the Church of Latter-day Saints. Kicking ass, pass it on.
Do you find, I've had this conversation with people before, and some of the women say that they believe it's true, that oftentimes women in a gym are more coachable than men. I know you coach a lot of women fighters, because they don't walk in there with this self-appointed, I'm the tough guy, I have to know how to beat somebody up, so that women have oftentimes been more coachable because they are more humble in their ability. Would you say?
Women have been more coachable to a degree for me because all the shit they had to get through to get to this point means that they were that committed. Although I would say women's MMA is far more flaky, especially nowadays. Really hard to get anybody locked down into things, and unless you have a solid money fight in, say, Invicta or the UFC, they are the hardest things to put together out of anything in the fight in the fight realm. They will just pass up fights, refuse them, pull out. I mean, it's so difficult to get a women's MMA fight going if you're not going to be in one of the major organizations.
So your girlfriend Colleen obviously is in one of the major organizations, and you have a lot of good friends that have been in and still are in the big times. Do they see it still as a really uphill battle, even though we know Ronda's doing big things, Holly's doing big things, but do they still see it as an uphill climb?
I imagine they must, because unless you're at the top, you're kind of at the bottom, and unless your name is Ronda, then there's nothing else that compares. Holly Holm is now up there, but partially because she got to fight and beat Ronda. If she hadn't fought and beat Ronda, and all the PR machine and everything that came with that, and all the publicity and all the buildup, Holly Holm wouldn't be where she's at right now. Not to say that Holly Holm's skill and talent, and it's not about what you deserve. It's just about how it plays out in the entertainment industry. It's different. Cyborg is Cyborg, but if she didn't beat Gina Carano, she wouldn't be Cyborg as she is today. If she beat, somebody else, wouldn't be the same. Wouldn't have the same effect.
Yeah, I just wonder how hard.
It's not that it's not even a matter of taking, right? Yeah. Holly Holm didn't take away from Ronda. She didn't take Ronda's fame and take it for herself. She just created her, by using the fame that Ronda had, she used it to help just catapult her own fame.
Well, Miocic always was very honest about that, saying that having Ronda as an adversary was so beneficial to her, and she appreciated that and knew how to use it.
And it's going to make her a lot of money if and when they rematch. It's going to have more hype behind it. It's going to get more eyes. It's going to get more opportunity and more money. But the fight is the fight is the fight. The fight itself is something entirely removed from that. So it's good that opportunities exist, that a woman can exceed to such a level. It could be hosting SNL, but that doesn't mean you're going to. It's still rare. Before Ronda, there was Gina.
Yeah.
Gina was as big, if not bigger. Although what Gina did was she paved the way for the ability to be in the PR machine and possibly work your way up a ladder that wasn't available before. So prior to Gina, would there be a Ronda? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe Ronda couldn't have been Ronda. Now, maybe she couldn't have even been Gina then. It's so difficult, and and the way public perception and the entertainment industry works, it's so fluid. You know, timing, luck, there's all kinds of stuff that go into that. The fighting, well, you know, that's hours in the gym, that's training, that's practice, that's execution. That doesn't that warrants fighting ability, fighting wins, things in the athletic endeavors that does not make you a star necessarily.
I know we were talking a lot about Stipe, but what are your thoughts on Overeem lately, how he's doing? Because he's winning fights.
I think if it ain't Dutch, it ain't much.
What does that even mean?
It was Mike Myers' skit.
It's silly.
I don't know. He's overing. He's off overing and reaming, and he won a fight. Congrats.
You're not impressed?
I don't need to be impressed or unimpressed. He exists. He is an adversary potentially in the future, and nice enough guy as far as I'm concerned. He's just there. You know what I mean? Until it becomes something that I have to line up against. You know, he's just existing in the same space I am, trying to get the same cheddar cheese.
Here's Werdum's actual quote. I think you were listening to it earlier.
Yeah.
Did it start off with my friend?
My friend. And a big smile.
Yeah.
It said, he had some injuries but was going to ignore them if Kane was still available. But the time is too short to, quote unquote, hide his injuries and map out a new strategy for
I knew
Stipe.
it. So it's exactly what I said already.
So is that kind of a, for lack of a better word, a shitty way for a champion to...
Well, I could completely just say something bombastic and accusatory and negative right now to give myself some fame, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, he has to live with whatever decisions he makes, and you know he's going to be upsetting the head office, of course. And he's saying that it's not reasonable for him to fight a different opponent that may require a different game plan, that may require a different what have you. Part of me understands that the potential of losing that belt and what he will lose by losing the belt in terms of his money scale, and his money scale, and then everything else is a lot probably for him that he feels to risk. He does not want to risk the potential of walking in there into the cage and making less than he's making now. He probably feels like this opportunity to make this money this is it. He's 38. He's coming into his prime. He's at his best performances of his entire life. If he doesn't do it now, it's gone forever. He won't make that money again. You know, these are his opportunities for his paydays. So he's fearful of losing that. Understandably so. The way this game is structured, it is often win, lose, and it's it all. So I understand his fear, but should he take that fight? I think he should. I think that's what he should step up and blast this guy. Or at least he should have come up with a better excuse. But it's his life to live, not mine. The fans will judge him in whatever way they want to, and he's got to live with whatever decision that is. And I'm not going to sit here and just be like, oh, he's a punk, he's a pussy, he's this. Because I can understand where he's coming from. I can see his reasoning.
What's the worst injury you fought with?
Bent penis.
Shit,
It was the worst injury, but it did give me a new creative angle on life.
Was that in the Mighty Wolf fight? Remember after? High five right there.
Don't walk off.
Worst injury I've gone into a fight with?
Yeah.
I had a torn rotator cuff, and I had stressed out rotator cuffs. I don't know how bad they were, and a torn labrum. I went there and fought Crow Cop. My arm came out.
God.
There you go. I've walked into the ring with plenty of injuries, most of them psychological. But hey, I get what I understand his reasoning. But when you say that in the public, when we're supposed to be swimming in the sea of tough guys. How does that? I mean, sometimes there's aspects of the business side of things that you're not going to get everybody to understand.
But how much weighing of the options do you do? Because seriously, you know that there's a line maybe your injury crosses where it is too much of a problem, and you really kind of don't know that until.
What does that say about Kane too? Oh, I was willing to fight Kane all fucked up, but not Stipe. So now this is why people should understand pro wrestling more. It's like now you just cut down your opponent. You just basically say that he's worth fighting injured and I can beat him. Well, how good is he then? Now I understand he's probably coming from a perspective of, well, I've already fought him again, I know what I'm dealing with. But I don't see Kane, and the only difference between Kane and Stipe is Stipe's got a little quicker hands, more technical, moves his head more, and wrestles less. That's what he's dealing with. Kane wrestles more, gets hit more, and has less polished boxing. There you go. That's the difference. If you could fight Kane, you could fight Stipe. If you believe you could fight Kane. Going in there and not knowing Kane has, 17 vertebrae shot out from his back, getting suplexed by Daniel Cormier, or taking a tombstone off the second rope from Luke Rockhold in practice. Tombstone pile driver, if you need to really clarify that. So Werdum didn't know that Kane was hurt prior to Kane's announcement, right? All good to go. Kane's hurt. Okay, Stipe. You know what? Injury sounds like a good idea to me.
Like I said, I saw him training last week, and I know.
No, Karen, you are the mastermind behind all of this.
It's me, puppet master.
Yeah.
The war master and the puppet master. No, I can legitimately say I saw with my own eyes that he was dealing with some issues.
All right. We're all dealing with issues.
We're all dealing with issues.
We're all dealing with issues. That's why we're here, honestly.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, let's.
We can get real now somewhere else.
I've been a barista before.
Have you?
Yeah.
No.
But, that doesn't make Dad love me.
Find it happy, please, Josh.
Josh, have you been tested by USADA for this fight?
No.
No testing. Okay.
Never.
Really?
No, USADA has a. Werdum said he was tested 3 times. We were just trying to.
I highly doubt that.
Okay.
He sat right where we were sitting the other day and told us that.
Oh, well, I was tested 7 times then. However many times you said someone was tested, I was tested more. I promise you. I could be tested more. I got more blood and urine. Anybody out there. All that stuff gets announced anyways, right? They just blow it out there like, hey, so-and-so's, been tested and had his butthole fingered, 17 times prior to this fight. You're like, wow, his prostate's amazing shape right now.
All right, we're good.
I guess all I'm saying is there are better questions to ask. I guess unless you're the USADA guy, you want to be mentioned a lot. And you're like, I'm the USADA rock star, the drug czar. He's got mirror shades, and every time he takes them on, puts them off, you hear that start of the song, the Who. Yeah! I mean, if you want to be...
It was hot. Right?
Would you want to fight this guy?
Oh, yes, I would definitely fight the Crusher. Oh.
That's him, right?
Do the turkey neck. Do the hammer lock. I mean, no, Stipe, that could be Stipe's grandpa, maybe. I don't know. I don't think so. But you gotta listen to he is awesome. The Crusher is amazing. And if Stipe looks up the Crusher, he should understand where I'm coming from. I would hope that he would find what's so awesome about the Crusher as well. And he's from the AWA, Minnesota. It's not that far from Ohio.
Close enough.
Yeah, why not? Stone's throw. It's crow's fly. Or something.
Yeah.
As the witch's cartwheel.
good game?
Chris, it's just gonna just keep degenerating into just more and more ridiculous.
I stopped rolling after 10 minutes. I'm done.
Nice.
Well, everybody's going to hear the same stuff unless you interview me.
That's right. Keeping it random since 2000 and what? Or actually 1990 something. Right?
Yeah.